Feels like the Bengals are already playing playoff football, and it's just the beginning of December. Bengals, Bills in Buffalo. Week 13 preview for our members live. This will be posted for everybody else tomorrow at 10 a.m. We got a special guest to preview this while Ron is in parts unknown doing things unknown. Coming up next.
Your boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go.
Bengals, Bills in Buffalo. One of the most fun games I've ever attended in my life a couple years ago in the playoff game. So we're going to preview that. Like I said in the intro, Ron's, I don't even know where he is. I don't think he's allowed to tell me. So I was like, all right, I got to have somebody fill in. So I brought in the Goodberry variant, Glenn, the Buffalo Bill. Look at that Josh Allen jersey. Is that a hockey jersey that you're wearing? A hockey Bills jersey?
This is a Josh Allen Team USA inspired, Buffalo hockey.
That's
jersey.
Impressive. That's impressive. Impressive as hell. I appreciate you chopping out some time to jump in and talk about this with us. Now, everybody knows your brother, big Bengals guy. I call him a computer brain, very, very smart guy. You are just as smart about the Buffalo Bills, so I figured you'd be a good person to talk to as we try to get this thing going. So how you feeling tonight, man?
I feel good. You're putting me on that pedestal. Joe is like obsessively smart. Joe's like a I don't know. He's got a little touch of autism, if you will. Me, on the other hand, my touches are a little different. But yeah, I mean, I'm your guy. If you want Buffalo Bill stuff, let's go. I'm ready.
So I'll never forget going to that playoff game, 2022 year, and I'm like talking to a camera, doing like a video in the parking lot. And next thing I know, both Goodberry brothers just appear out of thin air. Joe's like, Drew. Yeah. And that was the first time I'd ever met you guys. So Are you guys running it back? You guys going to the game Sunday?
Yeah, we got 8 tickets, friends, family. This is probably our last hurrah because our stadium closes this year, and we're getting the new stadium opening next year. So me and my brother, our first game there was 30 years ago, 1995. Basically, experienced the foundations of our fandom in that stadium. So it's kind of cool that the Bengals get to come here towards the end. And, we get to share this sort of experience. Another thing, too, I don't know if you remember, we saw you in the parking lot. What's up? Hey, meeting each other. And then at the end of the game, we see you in the stadium and we do like a quick video or selfie or something. I am hammered. That day was so terrible for me. It was like the best and worst day of my fandom.
I ended up almost in Canada that night. Took a wrong turn trying to go get a victory steak after that game, and I was like, "Oh shit, I got to turn around." So it was also when I experienced pizza logs for the first time.
Oh yeah, you got to get them sauced too. I don't know, maybe you had your sauce.
It had the dip,
the dip. But some people or restaurants will put them in a container with some hot sauce. Shake them up. Serve them like that, like a buffalo wing, and it's a game changer.
Yeah, my buddy also slipped and fell in the snow on those bleacher seats and busted his ass. That was hilarious. You're ready for this matchup. I have seen a couple spicy tweets, as Ryan in the chat says, some spicy tweets. So you're fired up for this one, man. And it's got to be a fun, sibling rivalry. I do the Michigan-Ohio State thing with my dad. He's a Buckeye. I'm a Michigan fan, so we have that. So this is like the sibling rivalry thing going on. Yeah. So it's going to be fun to watch you guys go back and forth on the internet. I look forward to hopefully you guys be dropping some stuff while you're actually at the game.
Yeah, we'll be doing some tailgating and doing some in-game stuff. So, yeah.
Some boozing?
A little bit of boozing. You can't go to a Bills game without getting a little sauced up.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the football, this is a good question. Best spot for wings in Buffalo. John is a Anchor Bar guy.
Sure. I don't want to hate on Anchor Bar either. That's the original Buffalo wing. And today we actually went to Wingnuts, and I have had Wingnuts before, back when they were you could only get them to go, and you had to go home with your Wingnuts. and then they've opened up restaurants since. But we went there today. I went with Joe. Absolutely fantastic. They just do something different with the wing. They put a slight dusting on them of like some coating. They deep fry it. The sauce just sticks to it. I'm recency bias, but I'm romanticizing about another wing nuts wing in my mouth.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being romantic about chicken wings. I'm
Yeah.
actually in this week where I'm only eating Gold Star chili items.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Really powering through that. So
Yeah.
big food guy too. I think that if the Bengals win, I have to continue eating Gold Star because they
Sure.
used to be the official chili of the Bengals and now they're not, and things haven't been great
Yeah.
since the switch. I'm just trying to restore the balance.
Yeah, you're trying to find some correlation, causation. Yeah, you gotta bring it back.
Yeah, I would feel irresponsible if I stopped after they won and then they lost to Baltimore, So we gotta get through this one first. And we got two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, two guys that are just so much fun to watch. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Obviously, looking at the stats, it's a little bit skewed. Burrow missed all those games with turf toe, but he's back. Looked pretty good in his first game back against Baltimore. 450 yards on the year, only 4 touchdowns. No picks, though. QBR is 60. Josh Allen having another top tier year, 2,832 yards, 19 touchdowns, 10 picks, 59.1 QBR. So these are some of the most fun football games there are. I feel like this has game of the year potential.
Can I add to the Allen stats?
Absolutely.
He's got 11 rushing touchdowns for a total of 30 and 489 rushing yards. As Bills fans, we got to keep that in mind because Josh is very, he's not very different but he's got his sort of, attributing sets of skills.
That is definitely an aspect to his game. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do this every week. We break down the quarterback. I didn't even think to look at his rushing stats, but I should with a guy like that because he gets designed runs. And that is a very important element of his game. Burrow's obviously mobile. He can get out of the pocket and stuff, but there's no design runs for Joe Burrow. So that is something that the Bengals defense is going to have to look at. Now, typically, go ahead.
I was going to say people that don't watch Burrow all the time either don't realize he is super mobile. He moves around in that backfield, moves around in that pocket, and I understand that too. And sometimes I have to remind Bills fans in conversation that Burrow is sneaky back there. He can beat you, especially if you leave something open in front of him. He's going to take it.
He went 47 yards to the house against the Giants last year. He saw it and went. He can definitely do it. Now, when we do these shows, it's usually Ron and I say, who has the quarterback advantage, us or them? Well, this is a different situation. I feel like you're going to say you have the quarterback advantage. I'm going to say I have the quarterback advantage. So I think this is one of the times where you're just like, man, this is one of those rare moments where you just get to watch two of the best in the game duke it out. You love watching Allen Mahomes, Burrow Allen. You love watching those games. So I won't make you say who you think has the advantage. I think everybody will just know. And then how these two offenses stack up. So Zach Taylor calling the plays, 313 yards per game, 224 through the air, only 88.5 on the ground, and they score 23.3 points per game. Looking at Joe Brady, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase's buddy from college, doing great things with Josh Allen. Maybe getting into some head coaching conversations here as the season goes on. 381 yards total, 225 through the air, 155 on the ground, and 28.1 points per game. That's a nice beer you just pulled out there. What is that, Glenn?
So this is my special beer. I had tweeted out in your post earlier that I bought a special beer for tonight. I had to stop at the beer store anyway, and I grabbed, this is the first time, this is my garage beer cherry, and lime is pretty good. And I just finished my first one and cracking another.
I'm honored to be a part of this. Your first garage beer experience. That's something you never forget. Mine was in a parking lot outside of Paycor Stadium. So I'm glad to be here with you.
I'm going to bring the rest of these to the Bills game too. So I'll be drinking them out there.
Love to see that. So as these two offenses stack up, obviously these two teams can put points up. For you, looking into this game specifically, what do you think would be the key for the Bills offense to have success against Bengals defense, and we'll get into those in a minute, who hasn't been good. Had a great game last week, though. So
Right.
what do you think the key to your offense is this week?
I think it's long, sustained, mistake-free scoring drives. If you could keep Joe Burrow and gang off the field, if you can limit their opportunities, their reps, and obviously, like I said, you have to score at the end of these. I'm not just talking about kicking field goals either. Bengals defense has really picked it up the last few weeks, and you can see it in the numbers. You can see it in sort of the effort, the play. They're changing some things. They're doing some things that, more so in the box there, because they had a historically bad run defense, as everybody was kind of already understanding. The Bills, though, are having a really good running season. Joe Brady has turned this offense into, and James Cook into this crazy sort of like powerhouse run team that I didn't think they were necessarily going to veer that direction, but I sort of saw flashes a couple of years ago. We were playing the Dallas Cowboys, and they run heavy. They pounded the rock. And then there was the Bengals loss in the playoffs where the Bills were totally embarrassed in the trenches. I think that game really put the Bills front office on notice that they are going to get out physical. And from that point, they built it to what you're kind of seeing this year, which if you take it out of Josh's hands a little more, you can limit his he's still a wild horse. If you force him to do things, he's going to make mistakes, but he's also going to make these crazy, fantastic plays, as where Joe Burrow is going to limit the mistakes. Joe Burrow's calm and cool. Josh Allen, when you get him in these situations, he is fired up. He's so amped up that first quarter. He'll overthrow balls. He'll make mistakes. You got to kind of set his pace. And I think, having James Cook being able to do what he can do really helps with that sort of pacing for Josh and the rest of the offense.
That's where I look at the Bengals offense too. I think to have success, I think it does come down to the running game too, because Bengals have been having success running the ball. The Bills have had, a bad run defense. So, but it's almost like the video your brother posted earlier. Is Burrow going to check out of these runs at the line? Because Burrow likes to sling it. He loves it. If it's an RPO, he's probably going to pass it. He likes that, and that's something I think I've criticized for a little bit. Maybe Zach Taylor needs to say, "Hold on, buddy, I'm calling the plays here." But he's Joe Burrow. You live and die with some of the stuff that he does. But if they can sustain drives and run the ball, I think that's a key. So it's similar to you and keeping him upright. And it looks like Joey Bosa probably not going to go. I know he hasn't practiced the last 2 days. But he probably could go.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that could go without practice.
I don't think he will, but you do kind of. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown just pulled he didn't practice all week, but he's playing tonight. So maybe, but I don't see it with Bosa. I think he's going to be out. The Bills are really hurt on defense. Lost a couple guys for the season. They had a really good pass rush against the Chiefs. They put Mahomes on his ass the most any team has in Mahomes' career in that game, and then they have not been able to sustain health up front since. And Ed Oliver's out, and Michael Hoysh, we lost him after signing him, and he got suspended, came back against the Chiefs, had a crazy game. It's just hasn't been working out in that favor. And the Bills don't have that good of a defense. I'm sure you've seen the numbers too. And what's funny is people are like, are we going to have a blowout game? And then we've always thought we'd have like these crazy sort of like shootouts. I don't mean blowout, I meant a shootout. But then I always end up like 28-10 or 24-13 or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know which direction my head wants to go in with this, because we it could be either one.
Yeah, and looking at Burrow, I think he's now playing behind the best line play he's had since he's been in the league. He got sacked once on Thanksgiving off a corner blitz. It was a good call. That kind of shit happens. But I think if they can continue that with Orlando Brown Jr. being like the highest graded pass blocker last week. Dalton Reisner's doing well starting. Dylan Fairchild's coming along. Amarius Mims looks like a great right tackle. If we can keep Burrow upright against a defense that does have some flaws, that is down in Ed Oliver, down in Joey Bosa, we can keep him upright. I do like his chances with what looks like T. Higgins coming back too. T. Higgins was a full participant in practice today, so hopefully he's back with a full complement of weapons and can kind of move the ball. And I think we're looking at a shootout. I kind of do. But moving on to the defense, looking at Al Golden's unit, the worst ranked defense in the league, but has made some strides over the last couple of weeks. And I'm sure that you've seen the numbers on that too, because your brother does all of the very good analytical stuff very well. I'm not smart enough to do. But we've given up 410 yards per game, 256 of those through the air, 153 on the ground. And that's where the Bills' run game marrying in with the Bengals' bad run defense is really going to be something to watch. Giving up 31.2 points per game is absolutely gross. The Bills give up 304 yards per game, 163 through the air, 141 on the ground. So again, give up some run plays, and then they score 21.6. I'm sorry, that's bad font. 21.6 points per game, I think, is what I was looking at. So we kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Who do you think, if the Bills are going to win this game, who is the key defender that has to step up and have a big game for you guys?
I think Greg Rousseau and AJ Epinesa. Epinesa was sidelined today with the mystery something going on, but if he can play, I think he'll probably play. They need to be able to step up and do something. They need to put some pressure on Joe Burrow. Burrow's hard to rattle as it is. He's calm and collected as a cucumber. And they need to try to rattle him up. Yeah, I don't think you're going to stop Chase. Most teams can't. It's like, what do? You gotta try to limit it. You got to keep them in front of you. Bills run a bend don't break style defense. Red zone efficiency, they're pretty good on the defense in the red zone. I don't know. You got to try to do what you can do and hope you can force somebody in and make a mistake.
I think our key player on defense for me is going to be Joseph Osai. 2 sacks last week, strip sack on Lamar, two fumble recoveries for Cedric Johnson off those. But Joseph Osai, Miles Murphy, our first rounder from 2023, he's starting to come along as well. You can see him moving forward, and I think he's just needed the reps that he wasn't getting for all those years. But Joseph Osai is the explosive, get off the edge fast, really quick. Next thing you know, he's right in the quarterback's lap guy. So I think if Joseph Osai can get good pressure on Josh Allen, and Allen is a little bit different. He gets pissed off. He gets fired up. Like you said, I think you can rattle him a little bit. Not saying he's like some, weak-minded pussy or anything, but like you can piss him off. You can rattle him. You can get him off his game a little bit. And I think we saw that, the last time that we played, even in Cincinnati in that stripe out game, he was getting hit a little bit. I think he threw a pick and the guy gets pissed off. That was the game where he taunted the guy.
And yes, on the touchdown, he pointed at him. Then the NFL uses it as a promo. And then fans started calling them out. They're like, you penalize the guy on the play. But Josh definitely gets more emotional than like Joe Burrow does in game. Joe's pretty even keel, as where Josh has these highs and lows as the game prevails. So with the Bills, also the Bengals, I forget. I want to give credit to where I seen it, but the Bengals ranked in pass protection last week the 4th best, and the Bills ranked the 5th with 2 backup tackles on the left and the right side, and we're still able to do their thing. Now it's looking like Dawkins and Spencer Brown are trending to come back, but on the flip side, they've got Josh Allen sacked 8 times against that Texans defense. Thursday night 2 weeks ago, where the Texans ended up beating Buffalo and Houston. And it was kind of an ugly game. The most Josh has been sacked all year. He's also trending to be sacked the highest of his career this year. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Osai can get, he was hot last week. You're seeing them trend up too. Like you said, Murphy, he's getting close. He's getting those sort of opportunities. He's winning a little more just from the games I'm watching, which I watch a little more Bengals than the average Bills fan.
Sure.
But Osai, I think, could, cause some disturbances. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Like you said, I'm so interested in watching this offense against this offense. Like it should. I'm thinking the Bills played some games against the Lions and the Rams last year that were like 40-47, 38-42. Like, I think we're going to get into that in a little bit, but I'm just feeling that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good question from our chat. So the way that we do these game preview shows is our paid members get to watch live. Everybody else gets to see it tomorrow.
Sure.
John Patz wants to know your thoughts on Matt Milano. Personally, he thinks he's a cheap shot and son of a bitch.
I can see people thinking that about Milano. He plays rough. He plays a very physical style. This year, I would doubt you're going to see any sort of cheap shot out of Milano because he's lost a step. The Bills actually restructured his contract in the offseason. This is going to be his final contractual year with the Bills. He was supposed to have a few more after this. I think they're both just agreeing that, I think the Bills got what they needed out of Milano. He had an all-pro year with the Bills a couple of years back. But like the Mike White stuff, I remember some stuff with Tua, and then I remember some chatter after some of those Bengals games about Milano sort of, being questionable. He's no Pittsburgh Steeler, but,
Yeah, he's one of those guys. You love him when he's on your team. You probably don't like him if he's playing against your team. But yeah,
exactly.
not crossing the Steelers line. My wife says Burrow has serial killer vibes, so I'm sure you've seen this. But Trey Wingo told the story where a professor at Ohio University was coaching Joe Burrow in basketball, and like something happened, and the coach told his dad and his mom and dad, like, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that he has the same emotion level of first responders and serial offenders." So they're like, he's either going to be a superhero cop or he's going to be a serial killer. But thankfully, he decided to be a quarterback. And BJ said Josh is very quick to show his emotions, and John said his wife has been giving him acting lessons. His wife is an actress.
You don't know?
I know her name's Haley Steinfeld, but I don't know what she does.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, she's an actress. I wasn't sure if you knew, what who she was. If you've seen Transformers or even what was Hawkeye?
Not a big movie guy, honestly.
Sure.
I can't tell you last time I went to a movie theater. I've been with my wife for almost 8 years. We've never been to the movies together. He is in a Jalen Ramsey. Agreed. Well, I can steal all the movies on my jailbroken Fire Stick and just watch them at home.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
She said I watch football and that's it. That is about it. This time of year, I mean, I got Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, a little Tuesday night action if you're feeling froggy. There's not much time to watch anything else.
No, I agree. And I try to get in some shows. I jumped back into Stranger Things because that came back out. The new season came out last Friday, I think it was. So I binged the 4 episodes they gave us. So I've been into that. But like you said, other than that, I've just been watching football.
Yeah. She said wait almost 8 in all caps. Did I get that wrong live on air? That would suck. It's 2018. All right. I don't know. Well, have been into Landman lately. Are you a Landman guy?
I don't know what that is either. Like you probably
Paramount Plus. Give it a shot.
I don't know what Landman is.
Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton. Good show. Paramount Plus.
Okay. I like Billy Bob Thornton.
So we've kind of looked at how these two sides kind of stack up. So I guess something I typically ask Ron during these shows is the Bengals win if blank. So I'm going to ask you that for the Bills. The Bills win this game if blank.
If the Bills offense can limit turnovers and limit Joe Burrow and T and Jamar. Chase Brown has a little bit of Chase Brown makes me a little nervous too, but I think you can limit him also if you can keep that offense off the field.
Yeah, so I look at the Bengals win if they win the turnover battle. I think that the defense probably comes down to earth a little bit. I mean, it's very hard to replicate what they did on Thanksgiving, like 5 turnovers, all that pressure. Like, I don't think it's realistic to expect that again. We can expect them to be better than we've seen because they've been getting progressively better each week. But I think if they steal the ball from Josh Allen and the Bills a couple times, and
Yeah.
Burrow can make you guys pay. Turn those into touchdowns, not field goals.
Yep.
Turn them into touchdowns.
Yep.
That's how the Bengals win this game. I think they absolutely have to just get turnovers, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what Ryan in the chat said. They won't be limiting Joe and the boys. I think it'll come down to turnovers. If we turn the ball over, that's the same thing. Josh can make you pay for that. Now, who's your number one wide receiver? I think that's a lot of the chatter I've heard about the Bills. Who's not the tight ends? I know he likes his tight ends, but like guys that
Sure.
go out wide. Is his Shakir?
Yeah, it's Khalil Shakir right now. But they've got a motto of everybody eats, and it could be anybody on any given Sunday, depending on the game plan. If Dalton Kincaid can be healthy for this game, which I don't think he will be, I think, in my opinion, he could be set up to be the number one receiver just because of how bad the Bengals have been against tight ends this year. But if not, I still think you're going to see a heavy dose of Dawson Knox and then, Shakir with some screens, because I think the Bengals also aren't very good on screens.
They're not. That is something. Yeah. We miss a lot of tackles around here, and a screen sets up a perfect opportunity for a guy, a rookie linebacker, to miss a one-on-one tackle.
It's funny because the Bills are terrible tacklers too. I'm telling you, this game is going to be fucking entertaining. It should be, at least.
It definitely, I think it has game of the year potential.
Right.
John Papp says bet the over on all 3 Buffalo tight end yards. Bengals haven't covered tight ends since I've been alive, so that probably is a safe bet. Weather. Now, you're a Buffalo guy. You're in tune with it. What are we looking like? So, are we going to get some snow?
Yeah. So I did check the weather not too long ago. It's going to be a high of 27 degrees, which is why the Bengals have been practicing outside all week. 70% chance of snow, but it's not going to be like anything crazy. I guess it's going to be flurries in and out. Excuse me. This garage beer, man, it's going to look at me. A little gassy, but anyways,
happens to the best of us.
I don't remember what I saw on the wind. The wind could be a limiting factor, right? With passing, but if the winds stay calm, it was a gorgeous atmosphere, that Bills Bengals playoff game with the snow. You were there, like it was just like magnificent.
It just hung over too.
It hung.
It felt like it wasn't snowing anywhere else except for right over Highmark.
Yeah, I remember looking up and just seeing it come through like the lights in Highmark, and it was just like, I don't know. I was like, this is just perfect, like football.
Yeah, it was a weird kind of snow though, because it wasn't overly cold. I remember like I didn't wear gloves and it wasn't like freezing, but it was just beautiful. Yeah, it was awesome, man. It wasn't. I've said
snow globe.
I was at the game when they beat the Raiders in the playoffs to finally win a playoff game.
Yeah.
Number one game I've ever attended because of that. Buffalo is 2 though. I think it's 2. It's a phenomenal environment. Is the new Highmark is outside, right? Is it Highmark again, or is it a different day?
Yeah. So it's new Highmark Stadium. It's going to be open. It's going to be very much like the old Dallas Cowboys. They just had the hole in the top so God could watch his favorite football team. I don't know how old you are, but it was a Cowboy thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
So the Bills actually have this state-of-the-art sort of architecture that comes with the stadium that is actually designed to deflect the wind around and over it. So there will be no like bowl wind like currently in Highmark. Those winds swirl. You've been in it. It's very open college like bowl stadium from the 70s. That wind comes in and it'll turn one way on one end and turn the other way on the other end. And if you're looking at those flags on the goalposts, they're going in opposite directions. So this new stadium is going to let snow in. There's going to be snow melt. It's going to be a grass field. Snow melt in the field, snow melt in the stadiums, because one of the big jokes is, Buffalonians got to go and shovel out Highmark.
They had to do that before was it before that playoff game, or was it the same year? Because you guys had that wild year of snow. I can't remember exactly.
There was a wild card weekend. Pittsburgh was coming to town. They moved their game from Sunday to Monday. I went to that game, and even my section was still, I had snow up to my waist. There's a picture of me sitting on the snow above my actual seat. And I don't know, it was a nightmare. You're like sliding down the stairway to try to use the bathroom in the 300 level, which is already kind of up there.
Steep.
And it's steep. But the new stadium should have snow melt. It will have snow melt in the roof, all that stuff. So
Natural grass, though, I love that. I think every stadium should be natural grass at this point. I'm tired of watching dudes snatch their ligaments on turf fields. I still maintain that if the Bengals had a natural grass field, Joe Burrow probably wouldn't have got hurt. But
yeah,
I'm
the
no
Bengals
doctor.
had a natural grass field when they first opened that stadium,
and they shit on us for it because it was bad.
Yeah.
It was just sod sitting on top of sand when
takes
Paul
some money
Brown
to take
Stadium
care of
first
that.
opened. That shit was bad. We don't like to spend money. That's kind of
Yeah, that's my little jab there.
He said Drew's thinking about garage beers. Glenn describes wind flow. I'm always thinking about garage beer, dude. I had 3 conies, a milkshake, and now I'm adding a beer on. It's got a difficult night for my gut.
I had 10 wings, fries. I haven't eaten since then, and garage beer now.
It's a standard Buffalo diet, though.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up with these shoes, dude? Do you wear these shoes, or are they just hanging out as decoration?
So I'm a sneakerhead, but those
I knew that.
kids. Those are my kids' shoes. So when they grow out of them, I hang them. This is my garage, my nerd room. So when they grow out of them, I hang them, by the ceiling because I don't want to get rid of them. I'm sentimental. I like.
That's cool. That's actually
seeing how my kids' little feet grow over the years.
They did say, I don't know if you saw, the NFL and PA came out today that they're going to have restrictions on playing services. They're only going to have approved services by both sides. So I think that is maybe a step in the right direction.
I did see that, but I still feel like there's going to be a lot of money involved there. Like, who's going to pay to get your artificial field certified? Like, just go grass. Stop it. Like,
that's the way I look at it. If you build a new stadium, just do the cookie sheet thing like the Cardinals and the Raiders do. They just drag their field out into the sun and then shove it back in during the game. We got the technology. We got the money to do it. It is 8 o'clock. Trying to end these by about 8:10, 8:15-ish so everybody can watch Thursday night football. Before we get into it, we always do our score predictions. So you're the guest here on the show, so I'm going to do the courtesy of the guest and let you go ahead and tell me how you think this game goes down. Score prediction, winner or loser. I guess just winner. I'm an idiot. Just go with it.
34-30, and I'm going to go Bills, obviously, but I'm like 55% Bills in this game. I think, 45% of me thinks that the Bengals are going to end up doing this. And makes me a little nervous. I think it's more anxious than anything. Is if you could, one word to describe this game for me: anxious. 34-30 Bills.
It's always like that when you're playing a quarterback that is right there with your guy. It's like, okay, Bengals Chiefs. Like, I know the Bengals can win this game, but I'm anxious as hell because that's Pat Mahomes over there.
Yeah,
that's Josh Allen over there, and anything can happen with those guys. I have a feeling this is going to be the game of the year. They're going to regret flexing this back to 1 p.m.
Yeah,
what a dumb decision. I get it.
I feel like we all knew Burrow was coming back for this game. I think he's going to come back. It's just the window was like right here around this Bills game to start off, and then they flex it.
Yeah, I think they're going to regret that. So we're not getting Nance and Romo on the call then, probably.
No.
I just thought of that.
Which is fine. I would have been at the game anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
I want to go so bad. I want to just hop in the truck on Saturday and drive up there.
6-hour drive.
Yeah, I do, but I got home obligations. And how am I going to eat Gold Star only for a week if I'm on the road in New York? There ain't no Gold Star.
You have to get something to go, put it in a cooler, and bring it up, dude.
Yeah, also, heat it up at a gas station.
I kind of don't want you to eat the shit if it's going to bring you luck, to be honest with you. So hop in the car, fuck the Gold Star, just come on up. Excuse my language.
I've committed, though. And then I'm the guy that let the whole fan base down if we go up there and lose. You know how the internet works.
You don't want to disappoint me, though, Drew. Come on now, man.
All right, so I think we've got game of the year potential. And I've got the Bengals winning this thing 38-35. McPherson is going to kick a field goal that becomes the difference. I'm not saying it's a game winner. I don't know. But something tells me It's just back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. It wouldn't surprise me if both sides get into the 40s, to be completely honest with you. But if the Bengals are going to get turnovers and win this game, like I think they're going to have to do, that's going to limit some of the scoring, I think, for Buffalo. So I'm going to go 38-35. Cincinnati Bengals win. We're riding high. We just don't let us in, motherfuckers. Don't let it. That's what I would say. Don't let us in. Oh, shit. Wrong button. My bad.
Hey. Here's an interesting thing to maybe look forward to, Drew. Say the Bengals squeak in, they win that division, they're the 4th seed. The Bills are the 5th seed. We could come to Cincinnati and meet again. So, yeah.
So then you're coming back to Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, we'll come.
Got to.
Yeah.
And if you are going to go to the game, this is for you. This is for anybody. You can use the TickPick code. I got to pay the bills here real quick, Glenn. TickPick's the official ticket provider of our show. All you got to do is download the app, scan it, enter code Cincy15 on any purchase over $100, and you can save some money and go to the game. Now, I'm looking at the ticket prices here right now. You can get into this game. It's actually not bad for a game of this magnitude with these two quarterbacks going in. You can get in there for as low as soon as I hit the right button, $139, and the code takes 15 off, so you can save a little bit of money there.
Yep.
You guys have to do that. There's a conversation happening in the chat of my wife saying I can go to the game. BJ wants to go. John wants to go. I have to leave her money for food. The code is Cincy14. I don't know why it is. It is not 15. It is 14. I don't know why. We'll DoorDash my wife whatever she needs. So we're going to load the boys up in the truck.
Joe and I are looking for something to do Saturday night. So if you do get a little frisky and you end up in a car, hit us up. We're looking for something to do. Maybe get some wings or something.
We'd have to leave early Saturday morning.
It's a 6-hour drive.
Pull it off. We could pull it off.
You could leave at 8 and be here by 2 o'clock. 6 hours.
These guys are talking tough in the chat. I bet their wives wouldn't let them go, though.
Yeah. Well, the chat is the only place their wives probably aren't going to see them, other than you, Drew.
How are hotel rooms up there? Probably super expensive, right?
I don't know. I live here, so last time.
You just get to go home afterwards.
Yeah. I just had home.
It doesn't matter.
So I don't know.
Can we sleep in your driveway in my truck?
Sure, you can park on the public street. Especially
no driveway,
if
only
win.
on the street.
Yeah, if the Bengals win, you got to park in the road.
Oh, this guy, he's got a title game to watch. Nobody cares about the Big Ten title. It doesn't matter.
That seemed more like a subtle flex than
Oh, it was. He's definitely throwing a shot at my heart because Michigan lost to those terrible, terrible fans on Saturday. But that's all we got, man. Thursday Night Football is about to start. I appreciate you coming in, filling in for Ron, giving us some insight. We haven't really had a chance to talk to, I guess, the enemy, as we would call you right now. On this show this year, so it was good. I know the timeline is going to be spicy from both sides. Everybody, you can follow him at Glenn _Goodberry. He's a friend when we're not playing.
Absolutely,
like, now there might be some button of heads on Sunday. Shit happens. It's the game. Yeah. But he's a good follow.
This Bengals week is my favorite because me and my brother have always, football is our thing. When the Bengals are playing the Bills, it's a little bit different. Other than that, I'm rooting for the Bengals. I own Bengals stuff. I own Bengals on the brain stuff. I got Bengals jerseys. If it's not conflicting with the Bills, I root for the Bengals. But I'm red and blue. I bleed, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, you want us dead this week. I understand it. I can respect that. It's all good. So I appreciate you hopping in, man. Thank you for spending some time with us, giving us some good knowledge on the Buffalo Bills. Possibly I'll see you this weekend. Probably not, but possibly. It's out there.
55-45. All right.
55-40. Got to see if I get Monday off work, but we'll see.
All right, man.
But either way, man, I look forward to interacting with you during the game on the internet if it is not in Buffalo. Thank you for spending some time with us. We're going to get up out of here. Enjoy Thursday Night Football, and we'll see you on the internet. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Take care.
Yo, boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go. Our boys are ready to go. Our boys are ready to go. You already know. Grab a garage beer, let's flow. No filter needed, beers getting deleted. It's the Cincy Unfiltered Show. Let's go.